The Trump administration now seems to have realized that in the game of trade poker with China, it is Beijing that has the ace up its sleeve. This line, drawn from a recent Financial Times article, captures the realization that China holds a powerful, often hidden lever in its economic dealings with the US, its near monopoly on rare earth elements and critical minerals. What's driving that realization? 1. China's rare earth dominance. China controls roughly 60 to 70% of global rare earth mining and around 90% of their processing. These minerals, like neodymium, dysprosium, samarium, and yttrium, are essential in making high tech goods, electric car motors, advanced electronics, and even cutting edge military hardware, such as the F 35 fighter jet. 2. Strategic leverage in the trade war. Following the Trump administration's imposition of broad tariffs, China responded decisively by implementing export controls over 7 rare earth materials. The consequences were swift. Carmakers like Ford had to shut down factories due to shortages of magnet components. Within a few months, the US had to plead for relief and reached a temporary agreement. 3. Not just the card, a weapon. Commentators warn that these rare earth controls are more than a bargaining chip. They're a loaded gun at the negotiation table. China can choose when to tighten or loosen supply, and it has done so selectively, even granting some European firms, like Volkswagen, preferred access during restrictions. Broader implications. Why China holds the upper hand. 4. Preparedness and precision. An FT piece likens Xi Jinping to the cunning Wesley in The Princess Bride, having spent years preparing for the trade battle, while Trump played the overconfident Vizina. The result? US lifted many tariffs, yet got no vague promises in return regarding rare earths. 5. Structural advantages. Another FT analysis highlights Trump's volatile tariff policies and China's more calculated state backed responses. Because China exports more to the US, it holds bargaining strength. American consumers depend heavily on affordable Chinese goods, and political pressure would rise if key items like electronics or antibiotics were disrupted. Meanwhile, China has tools like control over US Treasury bond holdings and more capacity to absorb economic shocks. Summary table. Factor: what it means. Rare earth control. China's dominance in mining and processing grants hidden leverage. Swift export controls. Enables targeted pressure with immediate global impact. Preparation and precision. China planned strategically. US often responded reactively. Global interdependence. US reliance on Chinese sourced components creates vulnerability. State structure advantage. China's centralized system is more resilient under economic strain. What does ace up the sleeve imply here? From its origin in poker, where secretly hiding an ace gives you an unexpected upper hand, the phrase has evolved to describe any surprise advantage or secret weapon. In this case, China's advantage is a concealed yet formidable control over crucial materials that Western economies and defense systems depend on. Final thoughts. The notion that China holds the ace up its sleeve reflects a sobering reality. Beijing has quietly amassed control over essential inputs that power modern economies and defense systems. The US, wide ranging in its tariffs and often reactive, has struggled to build equivalent leverage. If the US hopes to level the playing field, it will need not just bold policy, but foresight and coordination that match Beijing's strategic patience.